Assalamu alaikum, Bilal Technology Wala here once again with another review video on the topic which is the power of vulnerability by Brené Brown. So I am going to discuss some key takeaways from that beautiful and interesting uh, TED Talk. So the first point is vulnerability is the core of human connection. The Brené Brown explains that being open, honest, and showing vulnerability is essential to forming deep connections with others. Avoiding vulnerability may make life safe, but limits love, creativity, and meaningful relationships. For example, if a student hesitates to ask questions in class because they fear looking stupid, they miss an opportunity to learn and connect. Showing vulnerability by asking leads to growth and stronger relationships with peers and teachers. The second point from the video is people who embrace vulnerability are more wholehearted. For example, wholehearted people embrace their imperfections, take risks, and live authentically. Brown notes that the perfectionism blocks joy and creativity, while vulnerability fosters courage and encouragement. Engagement. For example, imagine a student presenting a project despite fear of mistakes. Even if the presentation isn't perfect, they gain confidence, feedback, and respect from the classmates. That's embracing vulnerability. The third point from the video is shame and fear block vulnerability, but acknowledging them helps growth. Brown highlights that feelings of shame, fear of not being good enough, prevent people from opening up. Recognizing and naming these feelings allows us to move forward. A teacher notices a student hesitating to speak due to fear of criticism. Instead of shaming, the teacher encourages them to share their ideas by naming the fear. The student overcomes it and participates fully. So this is very important topic that the shame and fear block vulnerability, but if someone acknowledges it, that will definitely going to help them grow in their career or in their learning pathway. The fourth point from the video is vulnerability fuels creativity and innovation. Taking emotional risks is linked to taking creative risks. Brown emphasizes that we can't innovate or create without stepping into the uncomfortable zone. For example, think about inventing a new app or designing a new product. The first idea may fail, but showing vulnerability and trying anyway leads to innovation. Students who experiment without fear often achieve breakthrough results. The fifth point from the video is connection and empathy require vulnerability. The explanation to this point is empathy is the ability to understand and relate to others. Can't happen if we hide our own feelings or weaknesses. Vulnerability is the bridge to understanding others. When a student shares their struggles in a group discussion, classmates feel safe to share too. This openness builds empathy and strong peer connection. The sixth point from the video is Brown notes that embracing imperfections and uncertainty requires courage. So, courage to be imperfect leads to wholehearted living, but it ultimately leads to richer, more fulfilling life. For example, a teacher admitting they don't have all answers in front of students shows courage. This encourages students to explore, ask questions, and take ownership of learning without fearing failure. The seventh point from the video is vulnerability is necessary for love and belonging. Without vulnerability, relationships remain superficial. True love, trust, and belonging emerge only when people dare to be seen as they are. If they are not ready to be seen as they are, then they do not expect the true love, trust, and belonging emerge. So, for example, in a school project, students who openly share their ideas, struggles, and doubts collaborate better. They feel included and supported. That's vulnerability creating belonging. So, the summary of the video is vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage and strength. Being open and imperfect allows meaningful connections, creativity, and wholehearted living. Embrace vulnerability in classrooms, workplace, and personal life. Fosters empathy, innovation, and growth. As Brené Brown says, the willingness to be vulnerable is the gateway to love, belonging, and joy in learning, teaching, and life itself. So I hope you people would have liked the points or key takeaways which I have discussed in this video. These are very important. If we are taking care of our children in our houses, if they are not uh, uh, elder enough and they are going to struggle in their upcoming life while learning different concepts, we should encourage them and ask them to share their ideas openly so that they can uh, make a good relationship with the teachers of their category. So this was all about from the today's video review of Brene Brown's. Till the next video, take care. Allah Hafiz.